What up, party people? You're listening to the Drunk Sports Podcast with Big Red and IndyCar Tim. Talking sports, current events, guy stuff, and everything in between. Now open up a cold one and drink along, because here they are, Lance and Tim. Gentlemen.
You can buy me a drink.
We're all drunk.
Absolutely.
Hello, and welcome to episode 10 of the Drunk Sports Podcast. I am IndyCar Tim, along with my favorite partner in the entire universe,
Big Red, baby.
Big Red.
He is Big Red. I'm IndyCar Tim, and we are live from Studio 69 at Casa Not So Grande in the thriving metropolis of Little Elm, Texas. We are on Facebook Live. We hope you're joining us, watching us there, commenting. We got a lot of people talking to us. We're going to try to get to all the comments as we see them. We'd like to thank the large studio audience that's here with us tonight. 3 beautiful ladies that we just met down on the corner and invited them to come watch because our wives aren't here tonight. So we'd like to thank them for hopping on in, and the shirts are on for now, but that might change later, we're hoping. We would also like to welcome everybody who is not here, and we would like to thank you for not being here because you're going to miss the greatest show that we've ever done. And
you're thanking them for not being here?
Yeah, because the fact that they're not here, they're going to miss it, and it's on them.
Oh, well, okay.
That doesn't make sense, does it?
It made zero
All
fucking
right.
sense.
Yeah, that's just me rambling on. I'm not enough beers in to be doing this, but we're going to get there. If you'd like to communicate with us and you're not on Facebook Live, you can reach us on Twitter. I am at IndyCar Tim. He is at Drunk Big Red. The show Twitter is at Drunk Sports DFW. Our website is thedrunksportspodcast.com, and our email is thedrunksportspodcast@gmail.com. So, again, shout-outs to everybody on Facebook with us. Shout-outs to all of you here. We also have a very, very special shout-out for all of you mothers today. Today is Mother's Day. Lance, did you know that?
Yes, I did.
Have you spoken with your mother today?
I have. In fact, I saw her yesterday, and yeah, it was great. She is, happy Mother's Day to all you women out there that gave birth to those normal people. But congratulations to my mother for raising a fucking legend.
You showed me that meme that you actually sent this to your mother on her phone.
Yes, and my mom said, "Do not let anybody try to tell you any different."
Dude, that's amazing. That's amazing. She did what? Let's describe what the meme says.
The meme.
Do you remember?
No, I don't. But I'm sure I can pull it up.
I've heard everyone's seen it before. It's something like some mothers gave birth to their kids, and my mother gave birth to a legend, or something.
Yeah, it says
like that.
All moms gave birth to a child except my mom. She gave birth to a legend. High five, Mom.
High five, Mom. High five, Lance's mom. Absolutely. Unfortunately, I lost my mother back in 1988 to the breast cancer. My sainted mother is long gone.
We need to have a pink episode.
We do. We will do that for sure. But I miss my mom. She was the greatest mom ever. Except for all of y'all's moms who will also say that she's the greatest mom ever. My wife's mom's a pretty good gal. Took good care of my wife until I came in and swooped her away, and now I'm the one taking care of her. So yes, Mother's Day. All of you mothers out there, hello to you, and congratulations for raising all of those mediocre children while our moms raised legends.
Absolutely.
We also have a very special shout out for some of you that may have seen the post that we made earlier on our Facebook page. Our good friends over at Creations 13 came up with something very special for all of you and for us. They are koozies. Beer koozies. If you're watching this on Facebook, Lance is holding one up right now. If you remember our good friend, our beautiful friend, our hot friend Veronica.
Would you?
Has this company called Creations 13. She makes our tumblers for us, and she has come up with a koozie. If you would like to drink your beer along with us while you're watching or listening, you can get these koozies on her website. It's creations13.com. Go to the What was the tab? I have it written down here. Yeah, it's the Drunk Sports Podcast swag is what she has set up. She's selling our tumblers. She's selling our koozies with the show logo on it. You guys check it out. We'll tell you something a little bit about her company real quick because she's that great. And she's sponsoring the show today with her presence. And that's really all we need. We didn't even ask for money. We just asked her to be here. Creations 13, where it's all about you. I got all of this off your website, by the way. So if any of it's inaccurate, this is on you. Yeah.
It's your fault.
It says where it's all about you.
Better check your shit.
They customize the things you use every day to reflect your own unique personality. They've got these Drunk Sports Podcast koozies. And guess what? They're only $5. And standard shipping is free. You can add your name to the backside of it, opposite the logo, for $1. $1.
You can probably add your name. You can probably add a handle. You can probably add, I don't know.
Put your Twitter handle on there like we did.
Shut up, Tim, or something on the back of it.
Or you can say, I hate the Drunk Sports Podcast. She'll probably do that for you, too. They're the collapsible neoprene can koozies. They got our logo on the front. You put your name on the back. And they do a lot more than koozies. We've talked about her tumblers before. We've shown them on camera. We got them on the table right now with our beautiful likenesses on them. Her tumblers go anywhere size-wise. They've got the 10-ounce coffee cups. She's got the 10-ounce kids, what she calls the kids or the lowball tumbler. She's got a 10-ounce wine tumbler. It kind of looks like a cool little wine glass.
That's what Tim normally drinks out of is the
kids' cup.
Little 10-ounce tumbler, little sippy cup.
I just need something that's a sippy cup so I don't spill.
Well, right. That's why normally grown-ass man drinking out of a fucking straw.
Especially about halfway through this podcast when I've had a few. And then our favorites, she's got the 20-ounce, 30-ounce, and 40-ounce tumblers, and she custom makes these guys. These are your standard stainless steel tumblers that literally everyone that you know drinks out of. They all look exactly the same. Don't be boring. Don't drink out of crap that looks like everyone else's crap. Make something personalized. Make something special. Everyone knows it's yours, and she'll treat you right. So again, go over to our friends at creations13.com. Tell them Big Red and IndyCar Tim sent you. She might send you a private photo of herself or something like that in exchange for
Let her help you be you.
So we love Veronica. We love Creations 13. But I'm done with a commercial. Oh, I got it. Oh. So,
damn it.
Apologies and corrections. We're done with shout-outs. We have to do this because you got onto me last week for not keeping up with the absolutely count.
So, I don't see an absolutely count on here.
Oh, it's on there.
Is it?
It's on there. So, why don't you explain what the absolutely count is since we have not talked about it for 3 or 4 episodes?
Well, yeah, so everybody knows that my crutch word is absolutely. And, after listening to the guys on the radio, I'm not the only one that uses that word. I mean,
no, you're not. We all have crutch words.
But, so anyway, little Drunk Sports Podcast drinking game. So,
is that your buddy Mark?
That's my buddy Mark.
Hey, Mark. Here. How you doing, brother?
Hey,
thanks for coming out.
There's a couple of chairs over here. Grab a chair. But we want to have a little drinking game. So anytime the first rule of the game will be, anytime I use the word absolutely, that's a shot, a drink, something, shotgun a beer. Make your own rules as you go. If you come up with any cool rules, then shoot them to us. We'll post them up and we'll put them on the website. And we'll build a list of rules. So just something to do a little bit different, and that way y'all can just all give us something else to screw with us about.
And it's something you can do if you're watching live. Have your liquor of preference ready to go. Have your shot glasses ready to go. And anytime Lance says absolutely, take a shot. If you're listening,
why is it just Lance says absolutely? I've heard you throw it out.
I've never ever said absolutely in my entire life.
You've said it 4 times this show already.
So anytime either one of us say absolutely,
5.
Do those count? So everyone's doing shots
absolutely.
Right now. Oh, God damn it.
6.
So keep track of it. If you're listening on the recorded podcast, download it or whatever, have your liquor of choice, have the shot glasses there, be listening and drinking with your friends, and we'll and then shoot us a message and let us know how hammered you guys actually got with the absolutely game. So going back for episode 9, Lance, I don't know if you remember or not, but you threw out, and I didn't count me, I just counted yours, so I don't know how many I said. You had 10 absolutelys in an hour and 30-minute, hour and 40-minute broadcast last week. But the interesting thing is you also included in those 10s.
I threw out a rapid fire.
You threw out a rapid fire 4 in a row.
4-piece, yeah.
You were really trying to get people drunk.
Is that not our job? I mean, we're doing it.
Are we supposed to do shots if you say
we
absolutely?
are bad influences. No, well, I mean, we can if we're going to sit around.
We just can't stop down the show every time you say absolutely because it happens all the time.
Again, now you're at 7 or 8 now. I've already lost count. You've said it so many fucking times.
We'll count it again in post production. That's good. So hey, that's the absolutely game. I'll have Lance
give us some more rules. Let's do something. Let's add to it. Have fun.
Yeah, let's just have fun with it. It's going to be fun, and the whole point of this is for y'all to drink heavily while you listen and not realize how bad we really are at this. And it would help if y'all could get a little bit hammered while we're doing it.
That's why I have my wife get as drunk as she does, so that she doesn't realize how bad.
She's not even here.
She's probably dealing with
she?
Animals or something.
Freaking animals.
Thor's probably sitting at the door trying to give a bad opinion about basketball.
About basketball.
He probably doesn't like it, even though he knows you're going to talk about it, so he's already trying to argue with you.
He's barking in the backyard.
Yep. And lady's probably trying to sneak off, do her little whore thing. So
well, they did really well while you guys were gone over the weekend when Zach was taking care of them, except for Thor, who didn't want to get out of his cage for a full day.
Shout out to my buddy Zach. Thank you so much for taking care of our 4-legged kids.
I think he was disappointed he didn't have to spend the night last night.
Well, I now know that I have a house sitter that will come and take care of my dogs, and I ain't got to worry about them.
Oh, he was glad to do it. He was glad we could help out.
Just hey Zach, we're gonna have to talk about this. The whole frat party. As long as I don't know about it, and as long as everything is there and all my liquor is still there, do what you want, brother. Just let me know. I won't tell your folks. How about that?
Hello and a special shout out to Mr. Scott Chappell, who is live in Afghanistan right now. Stationed in Afghanistan and listening to the podcast being live right now.
What's up, Scoot? We'll see you in a week, baby.
Scott. We'll see you in a week. Less than a week. We'll be back Friday. So we're looking forward to that, man. We're looking forward to seeing you in person.
So you're going to come out to Spirit of a Hero, American Eagle? All of you?
Let's talk about that for a second.
Let's do it.
Go ahead. This is your deal.
Yeah, Spirit of a Hero, man. It's a great organization. We pick one disabled vet a year, and all money raised goes to improving their lives. More often than not, they are double amputees, and go in and modify their house, give them modify their cars, stuff like that. They're the real heroes, man. And it's we have a lot of touching moments, but we're going to go out there. I'll be out there Friday night. There'll be about, I think, 5 or 6 cooks. So we'll be out there cooking.
It's a huge deal. It's a huge deal.
Yeah. We expecting a big turnout. We're gonna do a bunch of briskets, a bunch of butts, and gonna be music Friday night. Then Saturday they'll do a big long ride. I believe y'all are gonna participate in that.
Yes, we are.
There'll also be a Jeep ride that will follow along behind the bikes. Then everybody gets there. We serve everybody food. Hang out, and it's absolute. I probably stay drunk for a minimum of 36 hours, and then sleep for about 24. So it will be.
So that's on Saturday. It's next Saturday, right?
Yes, next Saturday night. If y'all want to come out Friday night.
18th? Is it the 18th?
I don't know.
Or Friday night the 17th. Friday night's the 17th. There's stuff going on Friday night.
Yeah, we're going to be out there cooking, but everybody's if you can't make it to the ride, you're more than welcome to come out and hang out with us, and we're going to have a little bit of live music out there, and lots of beer drinking, probably throwing some bags. Corey, again, there's your opportunity to show me just how bad I am at the game.
I challenge Corey right now personally.
Dude, you best just
I don't care.
Just
hey, I will still kick Daryl Sador's ass, and I will beat Corey at bags. I'm telling you right now.
You best not show up. Sorry.
Yeah, Corey, you best not show up.
No, I'm talking to you, my co-host. You're make an ass of yourself.
Are you trying to say Corey's good?
Corey's good.
I'll take him.
Corey just started the game not too long ago, and he's
me too.
Good. Well,
I'll take them.
Yeah, I've seen you throw.
Is this like toss across? Remember playing toss across as a kid?
Remember, with the tic-tac-toe board?
Yeah, the tic-tac-toe board. You throw the I'll win
Kinda
at that,
like that
every time. Is that not what we're doing?
We're not talking about you playing as an adult against your 2-year-old son at the time. I mean,
Oh no, he kicks my ass every time. I don't have a 2-year-old son anymore.
I'm talking about when he was 2.
Yeah,
Haka.
Parker kicked my butt. Absolutely.
Parker,
there's one.
Parker probably kicks your ass.
So, Spirit of a Hero, next Saturday, American Eagle, Harley Davidson. Lots of good food. There's a ride if you're interested. Check out their website. I believe it is aehd.com, and they'll have everything for you on their website. But it's going to be a good time. If there's any...
spiritofahero.org.
Spiritofahero.org is the website for the event, absolutely. So, if there's any of you out there that are fans of the radio station 105.3 The Fan, and we know there's a lot of you guys that listen, we will have some very coveted Tolo stickers with us if you'd like to come out and hang out for a little bit. We may even have some Ben and Skin Show T-shirts in limited sizes. We don't have a lot of those left, but we will be giving away Tolo stickers.
We have mediums for you guys that think you need to, wear that tight shit.
Yeah, if you like the tight stuff, go for it. But we'll have stuff out there. Come and find us.
I'll stretch them out and make them would that be a large?
A medium to a large.
Yeah, I can take a medium to a large.
I don't want to watch that. Like putting sausage in a casing. I don't need to see that.
All right, reel it in.
All right, our producer is asking us to reel it in, which we probably need to do.
Nope, we're fine.
Hey, let's talk about some apologies and corrections as we do every week because we always have so many of those. So the first thing is on me. I would like to apologize, number one, for making up words during last week's podcast.
The Timtionary.
Lance wanted to do like a regular segment about this.
I think it's
and call it
great.
the Timtionary.
I love the words you make up. It gives me something to laugh about. I mean,
we will address that.
Maybe that's a new rule in the drinking game.
So there
I have
were
absolutely
if I make up a word,
the Timtionary,
because it happens a lot. So the 3 words that I made up last week in no particular order. Actually, I think they are in order. And the best one of the night. We were talking about the injury to Ben Bishop and how the refs did not interpret that as a disabling injury, or they would have called the whistle. Somehow,
interpretate.
I posed the question to all of America.
All 17 of them that listen to us.
How else can you interpretate that? And then I stopped and I caught myself.
That's the great part about it.
Yeah.
You said it, and then you knew how stupid it sounded.
Every time I listen to that audio, I crack myself up. So
#idiot.
Interpretate is now part of our vernacular. The
will
word
be.
percents.
That sounds like a
Which
R.J. Choppy kind of.
I think it is a word, but I used it.
Counting numbers.
I used it entirely wrong. It's percents. And then another really good one was, I don't remember what we were talking about. Oh, we were talking about the Kentucky Derby and the fiasco that was.
The overrulement.
Overrulement. I said that on the air in all of my glory. And so I apologize for those things.
Yeah.
Towards the end of the shows, if you don't listen regularly, you will see that I tend to start getting a little tipsy.
We kind of start talking in cursive.
Yeah. Especially you.
No, I don't make up my own shit.
I also need to apologize, and I don't know why I'm apologizing for this. I just feel the need to. I said last week that racehorses are better athletes than soccer players. And I might stand by that still. I still don't consider soccer a sport. I do consider horse racing a sport. But I feel like I should apologize before people stop listening because I said that. So, yes, you soccer fans, those guys run. I think I read today.
My Brazilian buddies are going to stop listening. All 4 of them.
They
will stop
listening. 4 people in Brazil that listen to us?
Yes, we do.
That is insane. We need to go do a show down there.
Well, I mean, if we can get them to sponsor us and airfare, yeah, hell yeah.
Man, let's go do a show. I want to go to Carnival.
None of them like that.
I know, but they're not American.
Well,
wrap it up.
Let me say reel it in.
Reel it in.
She does.
All right. And then we have some corrections as well.
Oh,
so
God. This is where I came in, I bet.
I mentioned the New York Islanders sweeping the first round and getting swept in the second round, and I said I believe that was the first time in the history of the entire universe that had ever happened. I was wrong.
Ever.
I was incorrect. That last happened to the Buffalo Sabres in 1993. So I wanted to make that correction. I have a. It wasn't
Zane,
a correction.
Soccer is a sport. I'm standing up for you.
You're reading. Hey, what's up, Zane?
No, yeah, Zane, don't go anywhere. I got you, bud.
We also discussed. You and I kind of got into not an argument, but a discussion about Monday Night Football and Sunday Night Football. Which one is the more prestigious show now, or broadcast, or time slot now for NFL players? You maintained Monday Night Football is still king, and I said I feel like Sunday Night Football has overtaken that. And the players are more excited about being on Sunday Night Football instead of Monday Night Football. You remember that conversation?
Vaguely, but I think that if we're going to go back and we're going to revisit that real quick, I think that the pregame show for Sunday night, for Monday Night Football, is much better than the Sunday night. I get so tired of listening to Dungy and that shit show that goes on there, but the whole booth on Sunday night is far better than Monday night. So
right.
we'll just take it there.
So as far as ratings go, which one though do you think is more popular? Who do people watch Sunday Night Football or Monday Night Football more?
Without looking at the run sheet, and I you know me, I normally don't, because I just
right.
I kind of free will this shit. It's just all, I'm straight commando.
You're not wearing underwear?
Maybe not.
Hey, Lauren, can you confirm that?
Well, he's wearing khaki shorts, so.
Well, you got the angle right there, so.
He's got his ankles crossed right now.
Well, that'll change. Just keep an eye open and update us later.
He's not hands ready.
So, but yeah, I think that Monday Night Football is still king ratings wise, because people, you and I are rare in the fact that we have wives that let us sit around and watch football all the time.
And do a podcast, for God's sake.
Absolutely. So we sit around and watch football and watch 7 hours of it, and then, Sunday Night Football comes on, and there are some women that will drag their man out, and I believe that brings ratings down. And then you got Monday night, so everybody fires back up, and they sit and watch Monday Night Football. I remember being a kid, man, whenever Monday Night Football was the only primetime game. I mean,
yeah, that was it.
And I begged Daddy, please
let me
stay up and watch halftime.
Unless the Cowboys were playing,
just so I could see halftime highlights of all the games that we didn't get to see.
Because that was the only way. Howard Cosell doing the highlights, and that's the only way you got to find out what happened in the earlier
Howard
games.
Cosell, Dandy Don. I mean, you didn't get to see any other games besides that. I mean,
yeah. So unless the Cowboys were playing on Monday night,
there was no ESPN. There was no 24-hour access to sports all the time.
Yeah.
So the only way you got to see that shit was your daddy letting you stay up to watch halftime highlights.
And unless the Cowboys were playing on Monday night, I had to go to bed at halftime, which angered me even more because
that's when
now I knew the halftime score.
I got to sit up, watch halftime highlights, and then Daddy was like,
"Go to bed,
hit it, boy."
I remember in our living room watching Monday Night Football with my dad. I'd go in the bathroom and I had a T-shirt or my pajamas on or whatever as a really little kid. I'd go in the bathroom.
I bet you wore underoos.
Absolutely I did. I'd go in the bathroom and put layers of washcloths on top of each shoulder under my shirt to make it look like I had shoulder pads on, and that I was actually playing football. As my dad would throw me we'd play catch down the hallway inside the house.
That was a football thing, and not just you trying to be a pimped out.
It wasn't the 80s yet.
Fashion statement.
It wasn't the 80s yet. There were no shoulder pads in clothes.
Your members only jacket with your shoulder pads on and shit. I mean,
I had a members only jacket, but there were no shoulder pads. I also wore parachute pants.
Parachute pants and MC Hammer pants. All that shit.
I never wore the MC Hammer pants. So, let's talk about Monday Night Football versus Sunday Night Football, because I have the ratings for 2018 for last year, and while Monday Night Football served better than I remembered, does not compare to Sunday Night Football viewership. So 2018 Monday Night Football averaged 10.8 million viewers, which was up 8% from 2017.
I think there were 10 on our street that watched Monday Night Football.
Every week. However, Sunday Night Football averaged 19.3 million viewers every Sunday night,
What is the world coming to?
which was up 7% from 2018.
Women have no backbone.
Now, if you remember, what was it, 2016 or 2017 was the whole national anthem controversy with freaking Colin Kaepernick and all that
Still doesn't have a
BS.
job.
And people started boycotting watching football. And I get it. That's fine. Whatever you want to do. So 2017 numbers were ridiculously low. There was zero viewership for the most part.
Though I may
So
have fought for his right to kneel, I do not appreciate it.
No, and you know what? Yeah, absolutely. It's a free country. He can kneel if he wants to.
I just ain't got to look
but
at it.
But doesn't mean it's respectful.
And I ain't got to look at the game. I ain't got to watch the games that he's on while he's doing that shit.
Just because you can kneel doesn't mean you should. So definitely Sunday Night Football, by far, at least from a TV audience standpoint, is definitely the bigger attraction for audiences. As far as what players prefer to play in,
What up, Ant?
I don't know. I will go interview all the NFL players that I know this week, and I will discuss that next time on which one do the players prefer. And we'll go from there. I'll give old Cole Beasley a call, and you can call. We'll go visit our buddy Bob Lilly. Although there was no Monday Night Football when he played, except for a couple of years before he retired.
Mr. Cowboy.
Mr. Cowboy. So, and then the last thing for apologies and corrections is I have to profusely apologize to
It's a
my
goddamn
partner.
shame that half our fucking show is your apologies and corrections.
It just goes and goes and goes. This is a good one. You'll appreciate this one, though. We were talking last week about something, about the Monday Night Football booth changing, and you brought up Skeletor.
Yes.
And you threw out, well, what happened to Skeletor? And in
No,
my drunken idiot brain, I had no freaking clue who you were talking about.
It wasn't. We weren't being kids and talking about
No, it
He-Man
wasn't
and the Masters of
He-Man.
the Universe
No.
shit.
And
No.
you of course, I don't know why,
Skeletor-
but I
Skeletor-
listened to it, and then as soon as you said it, as I was listening to it, somewhat sober, I knew exactly that you were talking about Gene Steratore.
Gene Chicken Cacciatore.
Steratore.
Oh,
So I profusely apologize for leaving you hanging when you brought that up and not knowing
yeah,
what you were
but
talking
he was
about.
when we were talking about that. For some reason, that came up, and he was actually in. Please correct me if I'm wrong, and I know you will. But he was the officiating commentator during March Madness.
Yes.
Right? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
the dude was
For
an
that
NFL official.
For that Virginia Texas Tech game that we watched, yeah.
So that's a whole nother thing. I need something to wad up and throw.
You'll get something soon enough. So, apologies and corrections. We're sorry that ran long. It does every week. I don't know why I only
It's always going to run
allocate.
long because we're dumb.
I don't know why I only allocate 3 to 5 minutes for that when it consistently takes 10 to 15 minutes.
Dude, we're at 30. Good luck.
So it is what it is. Short shots is next. For those of you who don't know what short shots are, those are things that I want to talk about and bring up, but I don't want to do a full segment about.
But
As my
again,
wife
it's
points
another-
out, we end up doing a full segment about them
it's
anyway.
another fucking third of the show. So
Yeah, exactly. Get it. So we always kind of talk about the Rangers, our lonely, and I might say now last place Texas Rangers. Their season continues. They continue to struggle. They're currently, and this is after their freaking ass whooping from the Houston Astros today.
man, they can't even score enough runs to give me half price
To get our
pizza.
free pizza or whatever, yeah.
It's half price pizza. That's all I'm asking for.
What is
And
it,
I'm
7 runs,
and
right?
I'm not 7 runs. I'm not going to say the name because they're not paying us any damn money. But I want my half price fucking pizza.
Well, they didn't do it. So the Rangers are now 17-21. They're 7.5 games behind Houston now. At this time last week when we broadcast, they were 16-16, and they were only 3 games in back of Houston. So they're now losers of 4 in a row, 8 of the last 10. And we talked about the run differential last week. It was plus 17. Do you know what the run differential is now in a week? It's gone down to
minus 2004.
No, it's gone to plus 7.
Oh,
But they've also played Houston in that time, and Houston has literally owned them and spanked them more than they can.
Why have we
comprehend.
not signed Dallas Keuchel?
Because I don't think Dallas Keuchel is worth the crap right now. Or you know why?
Dude,
Somebody would have signed him by now.
He would immediately become number one. I mean,
I don't know about that.
Minor's throwing great right now. So maybe slide him in number 2. I mean, I don't know.
Well,
what do I
have
know?
you seen him throw? I haven't seen him throw, so I have no clue what he's doing right now. All I know is that nobody wants him.
Dude, we signed a dude out of an A&P parking lot one day, a couple of years ago,
He could throw.
because he just gotten out of jail.
Don't bring Matt Bush into this. Matt Bush is still in the organization.
You
Did
like
you
to
know
talk
that?
about Bush
You know Matt Bush is still in the organization.
somewhere.
It's ridiculous. So, yeah, our poor Rangers are struggling. Their team leaders right now, we'll go through this real quick. Elvis Andrus leads the team in batting average at .327. He also co-leads the team with Delano DeShields with stolen bases at 8, but Delano got sent down, so I don't think he's going to be accumulating any more stolen bases on the major league level anytime soon, because I think it's going to be a while before – it may be September before he comes back up. And then, of course, Joey Gallo leads all other offensive categories because he's a badass.
Dude,
Leads the team in runs.
Has he finally turned the
Dude, I
corner?
hope it has finally clicked. This is the Joey Gallo we have been waiting for 5 years.
He's a beast.
Leads the team in runs scored at 27, home runs at 12, and RBI at 28. So if he can keep this pace, he's already being talked about as an MVP candidate.
Funny story real quick. I know that we talked about it a couple of weeks ago. You know, we're talking about my brother Lane is in a fantasy baseball league. And he and another very close friend of our families, Eddie Brandon, Lane was trying to convince Eddie to trade him Joey Gallo. And I don't remember the exact quote that Lane gave me, but Lane said that Eddie decided he wanted to keep Joey, and he may have said it in the old Bobby Hill. He's handsome. So he decided to hang on to Eddie Brandon decided to hang on to Joey Gallo because he was handsome. And, I mean, you really can't blame the man, but I don't know that I'd hang on to him because he was handsome.
Well, I don't know if that's a good reason, but
It's
the fact
funny.
that
It's funny. He's handsome.
that's like when we have girls in our fantasy football league, and all they do is pick
That's
players
why we
based on
don't
what they
have
look
girls
like.
in our fantasy football league.
Oh, this guy's cute. I'll pick him. And then she ends up winning
There's
the
a woman
freaking
that
league.
lives down the street from me that's been in the fantasy football league, and she continues to whip men's ass. And I'm not going to tell you who's in that league. I'm not going to tell you.
I don't want to know. It ain't me. I consistently get my ass kicked in fantasy football by chicks. But that's another story. The NBA playoffs are still underway. Had some exciting games today and tonight. In the West, of course, Golden State beat Houston 4-2, and they're playing Portland, who beat Denver today in their Game 7, which I did not see coming at all. Had Denver in that series 100%. In the East, Milwaukee beat Boston 4-1, and they are going to play the winner of the game that just ended, the Toronto Raptors, which
You know the
I
NBA
didn't
is
see that
loving this shit. Two little bitty ass shitty markets.
I cannot imagine the NBA would
No
like anything less.
LeBron. No LeBron. And we'll get into that later, but no LeBron. I love it.
You've got the Oakland, San Francisco Bay Area, and Portland. And then you have Milwaukee and Toronto. So, yeah, TV ratings are going to suck. And this just
The Raptors. The Raptors.
are in the conference finals.
And the Blazers.
Hey, good for them, man. I'm
Yeah,
happy for Gavin the General Dawson, who's a huge Blazers fan.
Absolutely, and that's. I mean, I'm happy for those markets, those small markets. They deserve,
Especially
they-
Milwaukee.
You know, especially those fans that have been around, and yes, your buddy Arnie,
Does Kareem still play for Milwaukee?
your buddy Arnie is originally from Milwaukee, and he's
God, I hope Milwaukee loses so bad.
no, Arnie. You need to be online to hear
Defend
this shit.
yourself, man.
Yes,
Defend
yes,
yourself.
you need to start showing up. I know you're 2 hours behind us, and you're probably still at the bar
Where does
drinking.
he
so-
live?
Arizona, Phoenix.
How can he live in Arizona and be a Packers fan?
He's from there.
But
Born
he
and
doesn't
raised.
live there anymore. Nope. I'm
Dude,
disallowing
he's born
it.
and raised.
I don't care. I disallow it.
You're dumb at that. That's why you were kitchen boy.
No, I was kitchen boy because the Cowboys sucked.
Because your sports opinion doesn't matter whenever you start barking out stupid shit like that.
That's true. I agree with that. Kitchen boy. I'm gonna get a T-shirt made that says Kitchen
Yes,
Boy.
you need to have that for the Green Bay game. You can walk in.
I'm not watching it over here.
Have Veronica make it in cowboy colors.
No, I'm not watching it over here.
And make it like a jersey, and then just have Kitchen Boy as your name across the back of it. That'd be great.
So the NHL playoffs are also continuing, although not here locally, because St. Louis beat Dallas in Game 7. San
Ben
Jose,
Bishop couldn't stand on his head any fucking longer. I'm sorry.
This was not by any fault of Ben Bishop because he literally carried the team through the entire playoffs. But I blame our first line. I blame Jamie Benn almost personally for this.
You have wanted to call Jamie Benn out on the carpet for a while.
He had a terrible playoffs, and he's the highest paid player on the team. He's our captain, and he personally failed miserably.
Does Ben Bishop not deserve to be the highest paid pro athlete in the DFW?
He deserves it. It won't happen because of the NHL salary cap. But yeah, he deserves more money than Dak Prescott for sure. You know, pay Ben Bishop $35 million a year. Don't pay Dak. Please don't pay Dak Prescott $35 million a year. But it is what it is. The Stars are out. So in the NHL playoffs, we have St. Louis beating Dallas, San Jose beating Colorado in a Game 7, Boston over Columbus 4-2.
Mama said share.
And they're going to be meeting Carolina, or they already are meeting Carolina. And they lead Carolina already 2-0 in that series. And I've got Boston coming out of that. I have San Jose coming out of the West, and I have Boston and San Jose in the Stanley Cup Finals. And I have Boston dominating that series 4-1.
Yeah, if Boston wins, that fucking jackass that was on episode 2.1 or wherever he was that showed up and started talking Boston shit.
Mr.
Don't even remember his name. Don't even recall.
Don't L No was his name.
Yeah, what possibly
His that was unstable name. We have to come up with a better name for that character. Yeah, if Boston
he was not
wins,
a character. He was a real person.
He took over the show.
He was a jackass.
I got one more short sports shot for everybody.
Short
this
shorts?
is somewhat local.
Lance's khaki short shorts.
If everybody remembers our favorite left-hander that used to play for the Rangers, Mr. Derek Holland.
The Dutch oven, baby.
The Dutch oven. He's a friend to some of the people that we know over at the Fan. He hangs out in Dallas a lot. Him and Shippy are good buddies.
They were roommates. So
However, they were roommates. They're not roommates anymore. So Mr. Derek Holland pitches for the Giants now, and he's having somewhat of a rough season. And he just called out the entire front office for the San Francisco Giants for moving him to the bullpen. He called the move because of a fake injury, and pretty much said he has no idea. Oh, this is the quote. I have no idea what they're doing. That was his opinion of the front office. Okay, well, Mr. Derek Holland, I love you. You do a great Harry Carey impersonation.
He does a lot of good impersonations.
You had a good bit with the Dumb and Dumber tuxedo. I can't remember who the other pitcher was that you all did this with up in New York, but let me tell you one thing, Derek Holland. The reason you got moved to the bullpen is because you're 1-4 with a 6.75 ERA through 34 2/3 innings. That's why you got moved to the bullpen, my friend. It has nothing to do with a fake injury. Now your GM though, GM, Mr. Farham Zaidi, that's how you say his name, one of only 2 Major League Baseball executives that are Muslim, but I bring that up for no other specific reason.
It doesn't matter if he's Muslim
other
or
than
not.
to tell you that I can't pronounce his name.
What does Zaidi know? I mean, he may know cricket, but I bet he does not know baseball.
Well, dude, the Giants have been pretty consistent the last 10 years.
And he's probably smoked more pot in the last week than we have in our lives.
Probably smoking pot right
now. Why is
my wife
pictures?
posted a picture that we took of Derek Holland, or that she took with
Dutch
Derek
oven.
Holland.
He probably gave her a Dutch oven before he walked off from that picture.
Probably as I was in. This was
he was
at
probably crop dusting her ass.
This was at Billy Bob's one night when we saw Derek and talked to him.
Love you, Dutch.
Anyway, Derek, it's not a mystery injury. It's because you're not having a good season. That's why you're in the bullpen right now.
But the fact that they put it out there as a mystery injury and didn't let him know to his face about why they did it is horseshit.
Oh, no, but the Giants addressed this.
It's horseshit.
He's had a finger injury since spring training.
Well, his dog didn't trip him this time. He didn't break his whatever and didn't hurt his knee. What happened to men being men and just saying, look, you know what, you're not doing your job. We're going to move you down. We're going to put you in the pen for a little while. Get your shit together, and we'll put you back in the rotation. What happened to that? I mean, what happened to men being men, talking me to you? We talk. I tell you that you fuck up every week, and
you're right.
And you take it like a man, and we move on.
It is what it is.
And because my mom raised a legend.
My mom raised a fool. And that is not on her, that is on me.
I love you, Tim's mom.
Mr. Barbara Lynn Ham. A legend in her own time. So,
she was a saint.
Did you hear the
Tolerate
breaking
your
news
ass.
today, Mr. Lance Big Red Dorset, about our favorite Dallas Maverick?
It's not our favorite.
Kristaps Porzingis isn't our favorrit?
No, because I can't pronounce his name when I've been
You
drinking,
can't, dude.
and half the time I can't remember his name.
Porzingis. You butcher it every single time, and it's amazing. So you didn't hear what happened to him last night?
Pachinko. Yes, I did. Yes, I did hear about that. I read up on that a little bit.
So it's a little bit
He
of
got
an
his
alarming
ass
situation.
whipped.
And if you've seen the video, and it's not the video of the actual fight, but it's the video of after the
The
fight.
aftermath.
And I was surprised to see when I first saw this.
Chicks were holding him back.
But I
When
was
was the last
surprised
time? When was the last time you got in an altercation and your wife could hold you back from whipping somebody's ass?
every day that we go out drinking.
Every time.
Every time we go out drinking,
I have
she's
a
got to hold me
cop
back.
as a friend, and he would tell me, "You know what? Let's go."
Dude, I have
He
tried
would
to
not
start.
hold me back. He would say he would have my back.
I have tried to start fights. By the way, Paloma Creek's finest just drove by.
Hey, hello.
Shout out to Paloma Creek Police Department. They have an actual police department, but we have Paloma Creek officers somehow. So
Ossifers.
I was very surprised when I saw the video that it was daylight outside when this still went down. So I don't know what time locally in Latvia that this happened, but the video shows a very bloodied and shirt-torn, 8'11" tall Kristaps Porzingis with some buddies of his outside a club in Latvia.
He's not 8'11".
Where he got his ass kicked. Okay, 9'12", whatever. I don't know how tall he. Who could possibly know how tall Kristaps Porzingis is? Is that recorded anywhere?
He's like what, 7'1"? I mean, he's over 7 foot tall. But I mean, again, unlike Dirk, or like
Who's
Dirk,
14'4".
right? So there you go, exaggerating lengths and heights again. I'm sorry, Lauren, that you got to listen to this shit.
So the video,
6 inches is still 6 inches.
6 inches is huge, dude. What are you talking about?
I'm just saying.
7'3".
He's 7'3", allegedly. That cannot be proven in any court of law. Hey, Mr. Andrew Elliott just joined us. I was wondering
Look
where
up,
you were.
Drew, the little sergeant.
So the video, if you haven't seen it, it's going viral on social media, and it's nothing more than him outside of a I guess a club during the day, which to me still is weird. This happened during the day. His face is bloody, his shirt is torn, and he's being held back by friends or girls.
I do like his
By the way,
haircut.
did you see the skirt that one chick was wearing? And the holy crap! I want to go to
I
Latvia
tried
sometime.
not to zoom in on that shit. I said I tried, but
I think we need to do an episode in
you know how
Latvia.
you can't zoom in unless you take a screenshot of it and then peel it apart.
It was worth it. It was worth every penny that I had to spend to do that. So allegedly, what happened though, it's not quite as bad as it may have seemed. But the Dallas Mavericks have reportedly opened an investigation after forward Kristaps Porzingis was left bloodied and beaten in a nightclub altercation in his native Latvia over the weekend.
He's not a native,
He's from Latvia.
but that doesn't make him a native. I mean, he doesn't walk around with like a shield and a sword and a spear and beat his chest and shit. He's not a. He's
Yeah, Lauren's right. I feel like this is going to be on next week's Apologies and Corrections. So you know the
I'm
word
just trying
native.
to add a little bit. You know,
Yeah, Lance never apologizes for anything.
I'm gonna apologize.
Although that is a really cool visual that you just gave me of him outside this club in like armor,
7'3", no,
a sword and a shield,
with more like a
a cod piece.
No, you wore the cod piece a couple of weeks ago with a loincloth and
A loincloth,
and a
that's the word I'm
shield
looking for.
and a spear, and he's standing there, and women are trying to hold him back, and he's letting women hold him back, and he's not doing his shit. Yeah, so yeah.
So, officially, early on Sunday morning, a video began circulating on social media showing the apparent aftermath of the incident. With his shirt ripped open, a
Lauren,
bloody
we need
and
more beer.
upset Porzingis is standing on a street surrounded by a crowd of people while a woman tries to calm him down. He then shoves the woman aside and moves towards a group of people who are off camera. However, a couple of police officers talk him down, and he points towards some other people before leaning back against a wall. That is the extent of the video. It's not very exciting, other than that chick's skirt. She was pretty hot. So according to Tim McMahon with ESPN, the Mavericks
Bring it forth,
understand that
my
the
lady.
incident is that Porzingis was jumped at the club and tried to fight back. So it's still too early to know if anything
beer.
further is going to happen or if the NBA is going to investigate it. But if initial reports on this are accurate, he was attacked first. So if that's the case, it's unlikely he's going to be looked into or investigated any further than that. However, that brings me to this. Do you remember, Lance, that
Probably
he is
not.
still dealing with a different, more serious case right
and
now?
I think that's horseshit too. That's a woman after money. Just like, I mean, you know, how many women do we have in our lives that are after our money?
Like all of them.
Yes. Well, except for the two that were married.
I've gotten 4 text messages from numbers I don't recognize just during this show from women claiming they had my babies and they want child support.
Again,
And I don't recognize
Mother's
these
Day
numbers.
is about
not
women.
Father's Day.
Mother's Day is about women that know how many kids they have. Father's Day is about kids that we believe we've had.
Yeah, I have no clue what my total is, by the way. So,
Mark being the fertile dude sitting over there at the end of the garage.
is he more fertile than me?
Well, no, but it's going to be a tight race before it's over with.
So, for those who don't remember, back in late March, a woman accused Porzingis of raping her in New York back in 2018. So I tried to go online and because I kind of feel like the story just went away a little bit. We haven't heard anything from it. So I didn't know if that meant, like, oh, there was a resolution, they settled out of court. I figured for sure I would have heard something about this. But that's not the case. The most recent article online, which, you know, online's pretty up to date, that I could find that addressed this,
Hey, Zane, I got your shot.
was from April 1st, when it said simply the investigation is still ongoing. So, it's so ridiculous.
Your turn, Zane.
Just like you said, this is a woman who, oh, that's good stuff. It's a woman who wants money.
We don't drink shit around here.
And I can't believe that this hasn't been resolved, settled out of court, or whatever. And I didn't do a lot of digging, and I don't care about the details. I'm just shocked that this is still an ongoing investigation now for what? It happened she was accused in March, so going on 2 months now, and they haven't. There's no talk about it even online. There's no new evidence. There's no someone discrediting her. There's nothing. There's just nothing. And we haven't heard anything.
It's just another woman after another dollar.
That is good stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I'm just, you know, the whole thing in at the nightclub, that's going to blow over. It's going to come out. He was defending himself. This is not cause for alarm, Mavericks fans. It's not cause for alarm, Veronica. He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
She ain't worried.
But you know, again, to me, the alarming thing is this sexual assault, rape issue that nobody's heard about in 2 months. It's ridiculous. So moving along,
I don't know whether to throw this at you or the camera.
I don't either.
Either one. It's fine.
So the Star season has ended.
Story of my life.
The Star season has ended abruptly and not the way we wanted it to. The big question going into the offseason isn't about Ben Bishop's pay, but it's going to be about the potential re-signing or extension, whatever you want to call it, of Mr. Mats Zuccarello.
The dude wants to be here. He has made the statement, this is his team now. This is where he wants to be.
He has said that publicly.
Pay the dude.
And I agree. Of course, he was acquired by the Stars on February 23rd for 2 conditional draft choices. So, and this is where it becomes a little bogged down, and it's going to be very complicated for the Stars to re-sign him, I believe. It's not a simple matter of coming to terms on a salary. He made $4.5 million the last 3 years with the Rangers. He's going to want a raise, and rightfully so, and he deserves it. Money, however, is not going to be the object here of discussion, because the conditional draft choices that they gave up for Mr. Zuccarello were, the first one was a second-round pick in 2019 that turns into a first-round pick if the Stars made the Western Conference Finals, which, of course, they did not. That pick is still a second-round pick that the Rangers will have this year by the Stars. However, the second conditional draft pick is the one that calls into question their ability to, or their desire, really, to re-sign him. So the second conditional draft pick was a third-round pick in 2020 that turns into a first-round pick if they re-sign him.
Well, that sounds like horseshit to me.
Well, the Stars agreed to it.
Well, who the fuck negotiated that bullshit?
Jim Nill, your general manager, sir.
Well,
Is he still mustached? I can't remember if he still has his mustache. If he has shaved his mustache, he has lost his mind. That was the greatest mustache in hockey, by the way.
did he have a porn stash?
I used to have a fake Twitter account called Jim Nill's Mustache that I let go years ago. I haven't done anything with that. Go look it up. So, yes, they Zuccarello was a huge boost to this team. If you'll remember, he got hurt in his very first game with the Stars. Broken arm, blocking a shot. I don't know if you remember that or not. And he was out for weeks, nursing that broken arm. He came back. His body of work, really, for the Stars to evaluate him in the regular season is only 2 games. But in those 2 games, he scored 11 points. 4 goals, 7 assists.
Holy shit.
In those 2 games to finish off the regular season.
Sounds like a basketball game.
By the way, still nursing that broken arm.
What are you rubbing?
I don't know. My wife's looking at me funny, and I'm like,
Dude,
you want me to rub on Lance's knee or what?
I'm afraid to look. Of course, I already did. I'm scarred. Hey,
I don't know.
Based on that little known fact, did you know
Wait, what was a little known fact?
Talking about Zuccarello and the the draft picks and, we always hear about players to be named later, shit like that. There was a dude, and I don't know what year it was. Former Major League catcher Harry Cheedy was the first player ever to be traded for himself.
Yes, I am aware of that pick because I know stupid stuff that no one else knows.
Well,
that is a great pice of trivia, though.
Well, let's just skip over that because he already knows. My co-host already knows. So
do you know the details?
Well, I mean, he was originally traded to the Cleveland Indians, to the New York Mets.
Player to be named later.
Player to be named later, and after 15 shitty ass games, he was
that
terrible. He was that fucking bad. They traded him back.
He was the player to be named later.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
love that.
I thought that was funny. It just kind of fell in. So.
No, I love that story. That's a great piece of trivia that comes up a lot, actually. If you're in the bar,
I've never
like we are
fucking heard of it.
Really?
No. I thought it was greatness. I looked it up. I saw your shit. And I found that, and it was funny as shit to me.
Run with it.
That's all I got.
So, Mr. Zuccarello he's a huge benefit for this team because what we talked about earlier before going into the playoffs, that the Stars lacked puck handling. They lacked somebody. This was normally Jason Spezza was great at this, but he's sucked the last half of the season. I'm shocked that he got any ice time in the playoffs, although he played decent. He didn't play well, but he played decent the games that he got to play in. Who, by the way, will never play for the Stars again. He's an unrestricted free agent. He's 36 years old, coming off a terrible season.
Bucky's almost as old as I am.
Nobody's going to want him, just like nobody wants you. So Zuccarello, he's 31 years old. The organization realizes what an asset he is because of his puck handling. His passing made the team better. His passing was contagious. It made the team pass better during the playoffs. His puck handling, moving into the zones, his shoot, dude, he was a freaking certified badass for the Stars.
You can cuss on this podcast.
I know, but I'm trying not to.
Why?
My mom might be listening. It's Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Wherever she is.
Oh, she hears everything you say, so, I mean, she hears all the nasty shit you say, yeah.
I'm sorry, Mom. Yeah. I'm sorry that Lance did this to me.
I'm a bad influence.
So Jim Nill has stated he would like to have the player back. Jim Montgomery, the head coach, has stated he would like to have the player back. But, again, dude, giving up now a first-round pick to re-sign him at the age of 31.
In 2 years.
No. This year. Right now.
I thought you said
2020. The number one pick will be in 2020, correct. Yes, which is next year.
Again.
It's not in 2 years. It's
add that shit to your apologies and corrections.
No, you were wrong. You said in 2 years. This is 2019, so it's going to be next year's number one draft pick.
Damn it. I'll add that to my apologies and corrections.
So, I kind of, in my mind, when I was reading over this, I was thinking of the Amari Cooper trade that the Cowboys made. They gave up their first-round draft pick for Amari Cooper, and, of course, it's worked out really, really well. You're trading that pick of a potential player, albeit a good player, may not even have been a wide receiver, which you needed. But when the Cowboys traded for Amari Cooper, they were getting a proven item back. Somebody that there's no question how he's going to perform. Right. Now, he even gelled even better than anybody imagined with Dak Prescott and the Cowboys. Made their offense immediately better.
I believe he became quite a leader in the locker room as well.
The most valuable player on the team in a very short amount of time.
Absolutely.
So this is a little bit different in that Mats Zuccarello is 31, and in hockey, the hit and miss ratio on a first round player is a little. It's not as high as it is for football. You get a first round player in football, it's somebody that's going to contribute immediately.
But at the same time, I don't believe it's as low as it is in baseball.
Oh God, some of those guys never see the light of day in baseball. Yeah, absolutely. You're right. So what what the Stars need to decide is his future.
He really wants to talk about the Cowboys.
His future salary and his future performance and production going to be better than what they can draft. Now he's a left wing. The Stars need left wings for sure. It's a position they always need help with. Is his future production going to outweigh or be equal to what they could get in a draft pick? Now keep in mind, you draft this guy in 2020. He's probably not going to play for the team for 5 or 6 years.
It depends on how close you believe you are to making a big move and making a deep run. And as long as Mr. Bishop is around and the guys that they have around them, whatever Jamie and Sagan decide to grab their left ear with their right hand and their right ear with their left hand and pull until it pops, they're going to be good. I believe they need to sign this dude, give up that pick, and let's make a deep run again next year.
No, and I agree. And I haven't looked at the success of the draft picks by the Stars. That's a little homework. I didn't have the stomach for. I thought about doing that, but you've got a proven asset that you can re-sign. Now, again, he made $4.5 million the last 3 seasons. He's going to want a raise. I don't know how much of a raise, but the Stars have cap room. And this is a guy that you need. It's a position that you need. It's a leader. He did not prove himself in the regular season, but he more than proved himself in the postseason. What an asset he is, and that's your goal. The Stars think that they're right there. They're one game away from the conference finals this year, and once you get to the conference finals, anything can happen.
Blues.
So he is an asset, and everybody wants him back. He wants to be here. He's already stated how much he'd love. This is his first time living anywhere other than the East Coast since he's been in America, and he said he loved it. It was beyond what he thought it would be. So, the dude's lived in New York for the last 9 years. Give
It's
me a
the
break.
greatest state in the union. Secede. Y'all lucky we don't invade.
Are you saying the South shall rise again?
The South shall rise again.
Are we going to split up the NHL, though, because now we're in 3 different countries?
That's fine.
All right.
Texas can be by themselves. That's fine.
All right. So, my synopsis of all of this. Hey, Jim Neal and your mustache. Sign Zuccarello. Give him. I was going to give you that one. Give him $6.5 million a year for 4 years, and I guarantee you 2 Stanley Cup wins in those 4 years. So if that's what you want, if that's what your fan base wants, then just make it happen. It's not going to be difficult.
You were way off. I was a little closer.
So I've got something a little obscure that I wanted to talk about. You're going to think it's obscure, but just bear with me because it does lead back to a very valid point, all right? We've discussed the LA Lakers and what a terrible team they are.
What a shit show that has become. Thank you, LeBron James, for turning LA into the shit show it really is. I miss the old Showtime. Whenever guys were great and they played great and they just wanted to do the right thing, and LeBron has turned that place into the shit show it really is.
Well, we mentioned he's a coach killer, but
Dude, he wants Tyronn Lue back.
Yeah,
you know
Tyronn Lue.
You know why he wants Tyronn Lue back?
because he can control him like a puppet.
Exactly. And I heard a story. They had Tyronn Lue in for an interview. They had him in for an interview, and I can't remember the guy's name again. Another name that slips my mind. The dude, Kurt Rambis. Kurt Rambis jumped in the middle of the damn interview. They were fixing to give Tyronn Lue an offer. And Tyronn Lue wanted X money over X years. And Kurt Rambis told them, offer him half and half, and to make him go away. Because when Kurt Rambis, dude, I love the dude. The old glasses.
He was a decent coach and a decent player, but I have no idea why he's an executive with the Lakers.
The man would get in and bust ass with anybody inside the paint. I loved watching the guy. But whenever he came in, he told them to cut the shit in half, make him go away, because maybe he is the guy that sees that LeBron is going to totally fuck this entire fucking franchise.
So it started with the signing of LeBron in the offseason, who everyone immediately knew that what's his face?
I'm so fucking glad he didn't come to town.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that.
You gonna tell me I'm
freaking
wrong?
Luke Walton, and immediately chased Luke Walton out of town after the season was over.
I thought Luke Walton was a good coach.
Luke Walton was a good coach. I don't know if he's a great coach, and I have no idea why he was a good coach. I still think of him as some snot-nosed kid coming out of college.
Yeah.
Because I remember when he was drafted. But anyway, I had no idea he was coach
He is
material.
his daddy. He is his daddy's son.
He is, and his daddy was a good man. So it started with the signing of LeBron in the offseason. They failed miserably throughout the season. And really it goes back to Dr. Buss's death, the man that ran the Lakers for years and years and years.
It was Jeannie that he ran in there and told her, do not offer him while we were talking. You give him half and half and save it.
Right. So it's funny that you mentioned that about Kurt Rambis. So I've heard Jeannie Buss, of course, Dr. Buss's daughter, who's now running the team. You know who her best friend is? Her best friend is Kurt Rambis's wife.
I was going to say, Probably a fucking Kardashian.
No, it's worse. It's Kurt Rambis's wife.
No, it's not worse.
And I have seen reports
that saved the franchise, man.
That Jeannie Buss's #1 consultant when making team decisions, and keep in mind this is not just player personnel. Jeannie Buss runs the entire organization.
Are you seriously going to tell me her #1 consultant is Kurt Rambis's wife?
Yes, I am. And that just tells you what state this franchise is in. So we knew they had a bad team.
Miss Rambis, we have a softball team in Rockwall that Andrew Elliott plays on. They may need some help.
So we knew they were a bad team, but now they've become a bad franchise as well.
Is that why Magic's gone?
And everyone, and that's what I was about to say. It started with the death of Dr. Buss, the signing of LeBron, and then the surprise resignation of president of basketball operations by Magic Johnson, of course, who has been associated with the team since 1980. As a player, a coach, an executive, he's always had his hands.
The greatness of
in the
Urban
team.
Magic Johnson.
And, dude, he just literally, without saying a word to anybody, he walked away.
He said, fucking, I'm out.
He walked away. So they have no president of basketball operations. And everybody around the league that is in the know is blaming Rob Pelinka, the Lakers GM, for this. And you know what? Whoever it is that's in charge right now running things, it's going downhill. If this was happening in Dallas right now, can you imagine
the turmoil?
The turmoil and the number of people that would be calling for Mark Cuban's head on a stick. We don't have the history that the Lakers have.
When you have billionaires running professional sports, it's money rules the world, brother.
So I got an article off of, I believe this was off of The Athletic, but they were talking about, it was out of the LA Times. So rightfully so, this all came out of the LA Times.
That left coast shit.
I read their sports because I was researching this topic on the Lakers.
Okay, well, I mean,
so yeah, a little bit. It's called research, Lance.
Oh, really?
It's what I do before the show.
Oh, that's why I ride commando.
So, God, you gotta start wearing underwear, dude. But so a poll was taken by, and I don't have the guy's name that wrote this article. I apologize, but I'm sure he's a really good guy. Took a poll of Eastern Conference GMs of other teams. Of course, the Lakers are in the West, but he was polling the opinion of Eastern Conference GMs, and of course, none of them wanted to be named. The only way any of them would comment on any of this was on condition of anonymity, rightfully so. The three questions that he asked all of these general managers was, number one, are they a bad team? Which, of course, everyone knows yes. Number two, are they a bad franchise? Overwhelmingly, yes. Number three, can it be fixed? And, of course, overwhelmingly, yes. And every GM in the room that was on this poll said that Rob Pelinka needs to go, and here's why. None of them will deal with him because nobody trusts him. If you're an executive in the NBA and you're running a team as general manager, and it is part of your job to build a level of trust with the organization and with other GMs that you have to make trades with, you have to be in a position of trust. And when it comes to the point that none of those other people, your peers in your organization and your company and your league trust you, you're gone, dude. So the only reason he's even still with the team is because Jeannie Buss is afraid to fire him.
Jeannie Buss needs to grow a set, otherwise, huh?
So look, I go through all of this to point this out, to ask this question. The Lakers are in turmoil. LeBron's partly the cause. He's partially the reason. Yes.
I believe that he's the root cause.
He may be the root cause, but he is not 100%
If I was asked by my boss to give a root cause analysis, it would be 2 words: LeBron James.
Okay, and I would agree with that. However, should the Lakers get rid of LeBron? Even the fan base has said yes. I think they're tired of him. This is the first time, I don't know, maybe in LeBron's career, I haven't looked, that he's not in the playoffs. Would he go to like 9 straight finals or something ridiculous like that?
Something dumb.
Well, more power to you, dude. Whatever. You didn't even make the playoffs this year. So I was listening to our friends on the G-Bag Nation last week, and our good buddy Gavin Dawson posed this question regarding the Lakers and LeBron James.
Hit me.
What if the Lakers were ready to get rid of LeBron and the Dallas Mavericks came calling?
Nope.
And they offered Kristaps Porzingis and
Fuck
next
off.
year's first-round pick.
Fuck you.
Would
Sorry.
you be
No.
I don't even have to ask a question. Would you be interested?
No. I don't want that cancer in my locker room. No.
Is it because you don't think physically he can help the team, or
Dude,
because he's a cancer?
Physically, he is still one of the greatest to ever play the game. But I don't want that man thinking he can take over and run our franchise. I don't want it out of the hands of Donnie. I don't want it out of the hands of the coach. I don't want it to be put in the hands of LeBron James. No, I don't want him here.
You think?
And a few years ago when they were going through this shit, and they tried to woo him and they tried to bring him in and shit like that, before he was too big for his britches. The dude now thinks he is not only one of the greatest players to ever play the game, but he can put together the team to do it. I don't want that dude anywhere near my franchise. I don't.
I agree wholeheartedly. My next question was going to be, would you trade Luka and a first-round pick for LeBron?
Fuck you, no.
No. And I know I agree. Interestingly, though, the opinion of some of the listeners of the G-Bag Nation that day, and I believe even of Bassick, was that he would give it consideration, and I just don't see why.
Bassick said he would give it consideration.
Yeah.
Come on, Mike.
I don't
Mike.
see.
I understand that whenever you're doing shout outs and people call in and say, I want a birthday shout out, and they tell you to shut up. One of the funniest parts of the show is whenever JC tells Mike to shut up, and in his angry voice, and that's greatness. But this is one time, dude, I'm telling you, man to man, Mike, shut up.
And I don't know if Mike really feels that way or if he's just trying to make a point, but I'm of your opinion that I don't want him anywhere near this team.
No.
And I will in fact say that LeBron James is everything that is wrong with the NBA today. He's why it's unwatchable.
But
I've told people on numerous times on these airwaves that the NBA is unwatchable and I'm no longer a fan.
The difference,
He's why.
The difference in the NBA, PA, Players Association, and the difference in that and the NFLPA Players Association is that the NBA players have too much power. They have too much, because without those dudes, the NBA is shit. But I just, man, no. I can't say no enough. And if I could say absolutely no 100 times, I would, and you would all be drunk playing the game.
Good one.
But I just, no. I don't want that man anywhere near Donnie. Donnie, I believe, would choke the man out. I've met Donnie. Donnie's a good dude. I do not want him to destroy what Donnie is building. And Donnie, Mr. Cuban. So, no, I do not
Can you
agree.
imagine Rick Carlisle and LeBron James coexisting?
Rick Carlisle would try to choke the dude out.
Even Veronica's laughing at that.
Within 23 minutes of his first practice. I can't imagine that happening. And I love our franchise. I love where we're going. I love what's going on right now. If LeBron James came to town, I don't know that I would support them if they brought him in.
No, and I say, in fact, I would not. I would no longer be a fan of the team because I'm that uninterested in what he does or what he thinks.
I don't know that I've ever been more adamant about a situation. Dude, yes, 10 years ago, when they were talking about his first free agent contract, and they were talking about bringing him in, and it'd been great, but not now. No, not now. No, absolutely fucking not.
I don't know if there's anyone in the league on any other team right now.
I don't know that anybody
that
would really want him.
Well, no, I was going to say that I would want to trade Luka or Porzingis for.
No.
I kind of want to see where this thing's going to go.
But I'm going even deeper than that. Is there really an organization in the NBA that would bring him in and allow him to do the shit that he's done to the Lakers? Dude, the Lakers are a storied franchise.
The Knicks would take him right now, sight unseen,
because the Knicks are fucking stupid.
Yep.
Everybody in that front office is half. I'm not going to say the word. They're dumb. They don't know what they're doing, dude. They don't know.
Kim, I agree. If LeBron James came to town, fans would stop watching and they'd stop going to the game.
No, I would. There's nothing. I would totally fucking write them off. And my buddy Jeb has put me in contact with Donnie, and we've had conversations in passing, and I don't ever believe that would ever even be something that would be brought up in a topic of conversation.
Nope.
Because I mean, you know as well as I do how much Cuban likes to be involved, but Donnie has put us in the right path, and it's taken him a while, after we got Dirk, because we all know how we felt whenever he brought Dirk in, and it was like, what the fuck? We got a Euro dude, he's gonna be soft, and he changed his game. He did.
We got Chris Anstey all over again.
No, fuck no.
All right, so the consensus in the room is that we want the Mavs to sign or trade for LeBron James.
I'm going to punch you in the fucking ear right now. I swear to God. Mark,
nobody
Mark,
wants.
you got cuffs on you? Because you're going to have to fucking take me in.
Nobody wants LeBron James on the Mavericks. I don't think anybody wants LeBron James on the Lakers.
I don't want him. I don't want him anywhere near my city. I don't want him anywhere near my state. I don't even want him on the Spurs.
I can't wait for him to get out of the league. That's all I'm saying.
Houston,
the day he retires.
Houston might be fun. Let's send him to Houston.
I'm telling you, the Knicks would take him. Houston would take him. Oklahoma City would by all means take him. New Orleans might take him. But
Westbrook would run him out of town.
Westbrook would like to think he could run him out of town, but
I'd take Westbrook in a fucking heartbeat over LeBron James.
I don't want either one of them.
I would take Westbrook in a heartbeat over LeBron James.
Where's he going to play?
I don't give a shit. I would take Westbrook over LeBron James in a minute.
Well, if I had to take one of them, I would take Westbrook, and then I would maybe not be a fan of the Mavs anymore.
Point
I hate
made.
Russell Westbrook. So anyway, that's a show for tonight. I got nothing else. One more quick shout out to our buddies over at Creations 13, the website www.thewordcreations and the number 13.com. Check out our new koozies. Check out the Drunk Sports Podcast tumblers. Let them know you heard about them through us, and you might get a surprise picture in your email inbox of something. I'm not going to tell you what it is or whose they are, as Lance rubs cold water all over me, making me have to pee even more at this point.
Dude, I have to pee so bad.
But, hey, we appreciate everybody tuning in, everybody on Facebook Live. We appreciate the studio audience. Appreciate Mark coming down, a few doors down, to hang out with us for the first time. Hopefully he'll come back.
Back to Blue, baby.
Hang out with us. Back to Blue. He is a Carrollton police officer, and
love you,
my
man.
old stomping
love you
grounds.
so
much. So, hey, back to Blue. Respect your officers. Help them out anytime you can. They are there for your safety and your benefit. And we love the Blue.
To serve and protect, kind of like a Trojan. Oh, shit. Damn it.
So
I hope that's
those of you
waterproof.
not watching on Facebook, Lance attempted to open a beer right here at the end of the episode and literally spilled it all over our board recording our episode. So, yeah, number one, I hope it's waterproof, although I know it's not. So if this episode never airs, y'all will know why. And I'm not even going to ask Lance to take us out of here because he's so
Yes,
distracted.
yes,
oh, you're going to take us out of here still?
Yeah, I got this.
All right, take us out of here, man.
Hey, first off, again, thank you, all you moms. Any woman can be a mother. It takes a real woman to be a mom. I love mine. Timmy loved his. The people in this room love theirs, and remember them today. If you have not called them, shame on you. Love each other. Take care of each other. Lend a hand when you can. Back the blue, back the red. Support our vets. We love y'all. Thank you so much for listening. Share, tweet, do all that shit that y'all do on social media that I'm not really a part of. I love y'all. Timmy and I love y'all. Take care of each other. Peace.
All right, thank you for listening to this episode of the Drunk Sports Podcast. Join us next time for more Drunk Sports Talk with Lance and Tim. They are hammered. Until next time, here's to ya.
We're all drunk.
This is the funnest night ever.